Good morning, young people. This is Manitha Chetty. Growing up as a little girl, I made a promise to myself. Me. I said, I'm not going to be a fighter. Fight to learn. I never, I never been disrespectful. That's a promise I made to myself. I must be caring, loving, sharing. I love to do what I do. I love to stretch out to other people if they need. I learned to speak properly, not abruptly, lower my voice and listen more. And I learned by listening more and taking instructions. And I'm so glad I did that. It's simple and it can be tough. Any way we look at life, life actually teaches us how to travel our journey. Yes, I know some of us are so slow in learning, and some of us can catch up. And children don't understand. Well, I didn't understand. I was too scared for trouble. My heart would beat faster when I hear of trouble. I run away. I don't want to listen. I'm too scared when people fight or raise the voice. I don't think growing up I saw things like that because I didn't have eye contact with people and I was not the visiting type. I didn't have rabbit's ears, but I listened to instructions. I listened what was right, but I'd made so many mistakes. By making mistakes, I corrected myself and I trained myself. And it says practice makes perfect. And I come a long, long way by learning. And sometimes when I learn something, I said, what can I do with what I've learned? I can share when somebody's in need. I can stretch out. I can bless someone. I can encourage someone. A good word of encouragement is so good. Don't speak negativity over somebody else's life. Don't let the negative thought to get into your mind. Yes, we must be positive. We have challenges in life. We walk this narrow road, and walking this narrow road, you learn. Well, of course, I knew there was a God, but how do I communicate with God, the one that I don't see, and say I love God? I didn't understand that part, mostly. I'll tell you why. Because of different religions, I didn't understand. My understanding was warped. But as time went on and I was growing up, I learned. I listened sometimes and it was just listening and it go into the one ear and come out the other ear. But some things I really learned. Practice makes perfect. I really learned, like bettering myself in baking, in cooking, in sewing, in caring, in loving. I didn't know the meaning of hatred. I didn't know the meaning of doing something funny and getting into trouble. I was too scared because I don't think I can fight my battle on my own if I cause problem. Problem comes knocking at your door if you cause problem. If you're a peacemaker, trouble don't come to you. But some people say, what you talking about? Well, mostly in my life, I prayed the Our Father prayer. Whether I prayed it wrong, I said the words properly, or I prayed back to front, but I prayed. And there was a God that carried me. There was a God that cared about me. There was a God that loved me. I mean, growing up with a busy parent, and I was not near families and listened and did things. I learned on my own. I had so many accidents. I cut my finger. I hurt myself, I burnt my hair. And you know, these accidents taught me how to correct myself. I tried not to stay near the fire because I'll get burnt. I tried to stay away from knife because I'll get cut. I was very careless. I was like careless Joe. But because I was careless, I was always careful also. Watch what I do and how I do it. And don't keep the knife visible where I could see. Put it in a place where I know where I left it. And you know, your memory doesn't play the part that you want it to play. You can forget, that's part of life, and you can remember. And we were not all that. As talking about my brothers and sisters, they were very obedient. So they knew only how to play. And I was like the Lone Ranger trying on my own. And I thank God for that. Because by learning, now that I'm an adult and getting older, when I look back, I said, those challenges taught me so many things in life that I didn't even know that I'm moving forward. It's just like a journey, walking and trying and bettering myself, improving in what I was doing. I was not expert, but I learned because in life, only when you listen, not that somebody taught me, I taught myself. And I'm glad I learned on my own by reading recipes in the magazines, by reading little articles about safety. And what? No, I'd never watched movie. I'm not a movie. I don't watch movie. I never sat and watched hours movie or went to the movie theater. Not me. Or visited somebody to have a conversation. No, not me. Even when I walked and I went somewhere, make sure I walked to wherever I went and I was back. Because my mother was very strict with us. And in fact, it wasn't me that's running to the shop. It was my second brother, Dan Paul. He used to run to the shop. I think only the little he could help. He did. But I'm telling you, I had children to care for. So I had to have my eyes open. I was not a perfect caregiver, but I just watched. You know, if I say I look after them, only later. But I tried, and I thank God that I didn't perfect myself in anything, but I learned to better myself. I wouldn't say I did it to better myself to become a better person. I did it because I loved what I was doing. Caring, sharing, lend a helping hand to somebody that's in need. And I thank God. Even at school, I was very helpful. I cared. And I cannot say I was the intelligent person. No, I cannot say that. Time was of essence. Time took away most of my valuable, whatever I wanted to do, valuable. Um, in fact, more if I wanted to learn something, time took away that because time was short for me. It took me long to learn, but I learned. I was not perfect. I learned from mistakes. I learned from my own challenges. And my mother never stood and taught me anything, but she corrected me. I thank God for that. And this is how I learned as a child. I didn't ask anyone to just do what they can't do, but find out by your parent. The best people to find out is your mother or your sister. But my brothers and sisters were too small to ask them to do anything. I mean, you're looking at children that are very, very small. My brother's 7.5. My third sister was 5. My brother was like 2.5. My youngest brother, Ricky. And the baby was just started walking. I would say between 10 months and maybe a year and two or something. I can't actually tell you exact age. But we tried as children. We tried. We made mess. Not me. Of course, I was like trying, doing this and always keeping busy. If somebody took half an hour to do something, I took about 2 or 3 hours to do something because my brain, I wouldn't say it was warped, it was too occupied with that little brain, blood vessels trying to do little things. And I thank God for that. Thank God.